Hey guys, welcome back to week 3, leading into week 2 of the Chicago Marathon video log. The weather is not too good outside. I'm about to head in and do a Garmin Lactate session. So it's going to give me my estimated lactate zones or estimated training zones after this. Last Thursday in Ireland it was really hot. It was about 22-23 degrees, and we're not used to that heat in here. We're always cold, and we're used to training in the cold, and anytime it gets a bit warm we start to struggle. But I tried to do the Garmin lactate test and I got to, I think, around 160 beats, and I couldn't go on anymore. I was doing it on a route. It was a little bit busy, and I had to do a dogleg turn for one of the miles, so I couldn't really get into a routine. So I'm heading into my workplace now, where I usually do my fast stuff because it's really flat. If it's busy, I can always jump onto the footpath and my rhythm should not be broken too much. The reason I'm doing this is just to see how close the data is to the VO2 max test, and just to give you more information as well. In terms of the data from the VO2 max, so my endurance zone is starting off at 140 beats. So for me that's probably around 625 pace on the flat course, maybe 630 pace, and the top end of my threshold zone on the VO2 max test was 171. So from 160 to 171 would be my kind of lactate zone where I do my lactate stuff. So I just want to see what the Garmin test tells me, and I'm going to back all this up with a real lactate test because I have a lactate machine. I used it once and it was pretty accurate. As they say, lactate never lies. So I'm going to compare the VO2 max test, the Garmin lactate test, and the official lactate test. And if you've been following me last year, you'll know that I have great faith in my Garmin watch. It's the Garmin 645, and the VO2 max is it's pretty accurate. The test was 67.8 and my watch is telling me I'm 68, so you know, Garmin knows, I guess, whatever algorithm they have, it definitely translates to accuracy for me anyway, and I have great faith in it. And it's good to get the tests anyway to back it up and just to verify everything is good. So I'm going to do an official test next week to back up this test, so we're going to have all that data for me to start my new training block when I'm fully back from injury and I start coming up with my plan for the marathon. And you'll see then how that data stacks up when I go to Chicago, depending on what I do over there. I haven't decided yet, and I'm not too worried about Chicago at the moment. I just want to keep building up my miles, and if I do around 7 miles today, I'll have 100k for the week done, which is great. That's a milestone for me. In the last couple of months I haven't been able to get up, as you know, come back from injury. This is the biggest week so far. My week starts from Sunday to the Saturday because I like to kind of sandwich my work week in between 2 days off. Tomorrow is my day off as well, so I'll be starting my running week off with a long run, which is what I like to do, and that'll bring us into 1 week to go before Chicago. You have to wear a heart rate strap first of all if you want to get accurate data, and I normally tend to wear my strap when I'm doing sessions because that's when I'm probably going to be running on flat enough surface, just to see what my heart rate and my zones are. So what I'm going to do today is run on a super flat course, do the lactate test, and I'm going to back it all up sometime next week by doing an official lactate test. Getting my wind data. There's going to be a headwind coming up the back straight, which is fine. It's a fair course. It's a lovely 1 mile loop, which is perfect for what I want to do. It's cold out, it's windy. I don't want to go out. Oh, it's time for the arm warmers today. all the way, arm warmers. I'd wear more if I could get away with it, but for this test I need to be able to run pretty fast, and it's cold, so yeah, I'll be cool anyway. So anyway, how do you do this test if we have a Garmin? So click on run, and if you hold the menu button, it will give you some options like that. So scroll down to training, scroll down to lactate threshold test, select that, and it says warm up for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you press the lap button and the test will begin. It will tell you to run at a certain heart rate, and every 3 to 4 minutes that will change, and it'll keep making you run to a higher heart rate till it finds your lactate threshold. It says the test takes about 20 to 30 minutes, and I'm planning on doing around 10k today, 7 miles, with a little bit of a cool down after it, so hopefully I can finish the test this time. I changed one thing since the last time I did it. I had my max heart rate on at 184 because I was using my old heart rate data. So after the VO2 max test, and I peaked out at 174, I kind of set my max heart rate now to 175 just to see. It could be a few beats higher, but it's probably not going to be that much higher, so I'm going to leave it at 175. That way I can go up through the zones a lot easier, instead of my watch telling me I need to run 170 when my max is 174, 175. It's going to be very hard to do, especially here on my own today. So hopefully the new zones that I've typed into my watch will help me finish the test today. So we better get started, because I want to get warm. I just stopped the test there because my heart rate was 150 in the warm-up, and I know that it's not 150 because I'm only going easy. So it's very important that you wet your strap before you start, because otherwise you're going to be telling your watch that your heart rate is 160 or something, and you're only running easy, so your data is going to be wrong. So if you notice in the warm-up that your heart rate is not right, it's obviously the strap. Just make sure you give it a bit of just moisten it up with some water or something. The heart rate seems to have stabilized. Just running nice and easy, as the test says. Zone, the blue zone on the Garmin. And if you find that the heart rate data is out of whack in your test, you're not going to get accurate data back. So you gotta get that right. It's coming up to the 15 minutes. Just gotta offload this jacket and we're going. Should be safe here, my key's in it, so hopefully it's alright. Right. Lap button pressed, run 4 minutes at 128 to 136, so I gotta slow down. And you have to keep the reins on at the start of this test, because it's really trying to get you to go up through the zones. Very easy to just go tearing off, but read what the watch says, try to hit the target that it tells you, and go from there. Now we have to go to 146 beats per minute to 156. This one should be easier. Now it'll start to bite. Woo! Loving the heart rate data. Woo! 169. Come on. Threshold detected. 163. I'm gonna keep going to see, can I push this heart rate up more? Once you get around this corner, there's a big breeze when I finish with the test. So it's gonna leave it out now for 2 minutes. Let's go. Woo! Job done. We have some data. we have some data. Managed to get my heart rate up to 171, which is good. Normally on these sessions, can't get up to. Goes to show you, I'm a bit fresh. Whew! That was tough, but everything went smoothly. Kept the heart rate in the right zones. It gives you a good guide. So it's usually plus and 10 beats per minute. So keep the hour in the middle for every rep and you'll be sorted. Now let's go and analyze the data. And like any test I do, I always try to wear the same shoes. And these Nike Zoom Tempos, they're the best training shoe you can get. You know why? Because they give you that bouncy feeling. They feel good on the legs, but when you put on those vapor flies or those alpha flies, oh mama, you're lifting. That's what you want. You want to feel that in the head, knowing that you're going to be able to run faster. You do your sessions in, I suppose, the heavier shoe, or maybe we call it the Tempo 2%, but when you get on the 4%, but still you got to do the training. You got to train right. It's good to be back. And if all goes to plan, your watch will spit out something like this. Do you accept it? Why wouldn't I? We need something to base our training off of. Job done. Okay, so 163, 5:37 per mile. Last year I ran 26 miles at 5:35 pace, so pace can be subjective. The important thing to take away is the heart rate. And for me last year, marathon sweet spot 155 to 160. Goes to show you, under the threshold, probably needed to be a little bit more under, but I was in the right place and I was basing my threshold at 165. So it's not far off, 2 beats down. It makes sense considering when I come back to shape. I'll push that up the more I train, but now I have more good data to analyze.